They laughed at her, they mocked her, they called her weak. But one night, under the moonlit training ground, Ava Carter proved something the United States Marine Corps would never forget. The true strength doesn't shout, it strikes. This is the story of the recruit who dropped 5 Marines with 1 strike each and walked away a legend. The air shook with orders. Boots pounded the dirt, sweat, dust, adrenaline all mixing into one brutal symphony. This was where the weak got crushed and warriors were forged. Among 6-foot giants and hardened fighters stood Ava Carter, slim, calm-eyed, quiet, too quiet for the battlefield. They thought, "Carter, you're too slow." Laughter followed her everywhere she went. But what no one knew was that Ava wasn't angry, she was patient. She was observing, learning, and waiting for the right moment. The constant jeers were just noise. She knew that real tests weren't won with words, but with action. Every drill, every run, every grueling exercise, she absorbed the movements, the tactics, and the weaknesses of those around her. Silence wasn't a sign of weakness. It was the calm before the storm, a strategic quiet that concealed a deep well of focus and deadly skill. Every day was punishment. 20-mile hikes that felt endless. Rope climbs that tore the skin right off her palms. Live fire drills that rattled her nerves and tested her resolve. Ava fell. Ava bled. Ava struggled. But Ava never ever stopped. Her persistence seemed to annoy the others even more than her silence. They saw her stumble, but they also saw her get back up every single time, without complaint. In the mess hall, where a moment of peace should have been guaranteed, a group of Marines circled her. One leaned in close, his voice a low growl. "Joe, don't belong here." Another chimed in, "You're weak. Always will be." Ava kept eating. She didn't argue. She didn't flinch, because she knew the moment to answer wasn't with her mouth, but with her skill. Their words were just fuel, hardening her resolve and sharpening her focus for the inevitable confrontation she knew was coming. Then came combat drill day. "Pair up." The instructor barked, his voice echoing across the training floor. Corporal Diaz, 6'3", muscle stacked on muscle, stepped forward with a grin. "Let me handle her, Staff Sergeant." The rest of the recruits formed a ring, their faces filled with smug anticipation. Everyone smirked. Everyone predicted the same thing. Ava was done. Diaz cracked his knuckles, the sound sharp in the tense air. "Don't cry when you hit the ground," he sneered. Ava didn't reply. She simply lifted her hands. Not like a brawler preparing for a slugfest, but like someone who had trained far longer and far more intensely than anyone in that room could possibly realize. Diaz charged, a bull seeing red. Ava moved once, a subtle shift, a quick pivot, a precise strike to the center of his chest. Diaz dropped, hard. Silence fell over the room, thick and heavy. One strike, one giant Marine, down. This wasn't luck, and everyone watching knew it instantly. The smirks vanished, replaced by wide eyes and dropped jaws. Humiliation burns deep. That night, 5 Marines approached her outside the barracks, their silhouettes dark against the dim light. "You embarrassed Diaz," another voice added. "You think you're tough." The leader stepped forward. "Let's see now." They formed a circle around her. No instructors, no whistles. Just raw tension hanging in the night air. Ava stood perfectly still, her breath steady. "I don't need luck," she said softly, her voice carrying a chilling certainty. The first Marine lunged. She used his own momentum, flipping him effortlessly over her shoulder. The second charged. She folded him with a single, disabling strike to the gut. The third and fourth attacked together, a clumsy, rage-fueled assault. Ava danced between them, a blur of motion, striking with surgical precision that sent them both to the ground. Only one remained, sweating, shaking, but pride pushed him forward into a final, desperate attack. Ava focused, exhaled, and delivered one devastating center-mass strike. 5 men, 5 strikes. 5 bodies on the ground. The witnesses who had gathered weren't laughing now. They were staring, in absolute awe. The story exploded through the base like wildfire. Who was this girl? The whispers changed from insults to respect, then to outright reverence. One of the senior instructors finally revealed the truth, gathering a group of recruits who were hungry for answers. Carter has trained since age 5. Her father a military combat instructor, her mother a world Aikido champion. Suddenly, everything made sense. Her calm demeanor under pressure, her flawless precision, her deadly efficiency. She wasn't weak. She was disciplined. She was a weapon forged, not in the noise of the barracks, but in the silence of a dojo, over years of relentless dedication. Now, the very same Marines who once mocked her lined up, hoping to learn from her. They saw not just a skilled fighter, but a master of an art they had never understood. Her strength wasn't just physical, it was a state of mind. On graduation day, Ava stood in formation, her uniform crisp, her posture perfect. No one mocked her now. No one doubted her now. Moon, her name was called. The applause was thunderous, filled with genuine admiration, because they had all learned a valuable lesson from her. Strength isn't about size or loudness or muscles. True strength is resilience, discipline, precision. It's silence with purpose. Ava Carter didn't win by overpowering others. She won by mastering herself. Toe journey wasn't about proving them wrong. It was about proving herself right. She knew who she was, and she let her actions speak for her. She had become more than a Marine. She had become a legend, a quiet warrior who taught an entire base the real meaning of power. They once called her weak, but she proved that one strike done right can change everything. If Ava's story inspired you, like, comment, and subscribe for more powerful stories of courage, discipline, and unstoppable spirit.